After almost 2 years of waiting, not a single ballot box has been opened for the vice presidential recount. Why? Because of this guy. Justice Benjamin S. Caguioa, brother of dismissed Judge Ramon Caguioa. So, how did Ben manage to prolong the recount for 2 years? Has he been fair in handling the VP electoral protest? Or has he been a puppet of the Liberal Party? Here are the top 9 ways Supreme Court Justice Benjamin Caguioa has pooped on the judicial system. Number 1. Caguioa scheduled a preliminary conference of the case 1 year after the case was filed. This already violates the Presidential Electoral Tribunal rule, which states that the preliminary conference should be set 10 days after the receipt of Robredo's answer. It should have been set not later than September 9, 2016, but was scheduled on June 21, 2017, only to be postponed for July 11, 2017. It can be remembered that when Rojas filed for a protest against B9, it took the PET only less than 3 months to set the first conference. Number 2. Retrieval of ballot boxes. Under PET rules, the retrieval order for the collection of the ballot boxes for the recount should have been issued within 48 hours from receipt of the answer of Robredo or last August 17, 2016. The retrieval order was, however, issued more than a year later on, or August 29, 2017. Number 3. Late payments. Under the PET rules, if you don't pay on time, the court can dismiss your counter-protest. Robredo did not file her first installment set in April 2017 on time, but Caguioa did not do anything about it and even granted her an open-ended grace period. Marcos, on the other hand, was given only 2 days during the Holy Week break to pay his $36 million down payment. Despite of this, he managed to meet his deadline and pay them out in order not to further delay the case. Number 4. When the deadline of the payment of the second installment was due on July 14, 2017, Robredo's lawyer again said they will ask the court to defer her payment until upon initial determination has been made. Thereafter, in a resolution, the PET granted Robredo's motion and indefinitely deferred the payment of the last tranche of her protest fee. Number 5. 8,000 witnesses. Caguioa gave a 5-day non-extendable deadline for Marcos to come up with 8,000 witnesses for his third cause of action, which is the annulment of votes in Maguindanao, Basilan, and Lanao del Sur. When Marcos was able to comply with his order, Caguioa deferred to act on the case. Number 6. Unusually fast. Robredo filed last November 15, 2016, an ex parte motion moving to decrypt the SD cards that were found to have data during stripping activities of the VCMs in Santa Rosa, Laguna. Note that the SD cards were not supposed to have data because they came from unused VCMs. On November 22, 2016, or just 7 days later, Caguioa issued an order granting Robredo's motion and ordered Comelec to conduct the decryption of the SD cards. That was unusually fast for the pace that he has set. Number 7. Marcos shoulders Lenny's costs. Just recently, Caguioa granted Marcos' motion to decrypt the SD cards in his 3 pilot provinces to expedite the proceedings, which he was required to pay in full. Note that Robredo had earlier opposed the conduct of the decryption. But despite shouldering all the costs for the paper, toner, personnel, and so on, so far reaching more than 7 million pesos, Marcos could not get a single copy of the documents from the decryption because he has to get another approval from the PET. On the other hand, Caguioa granted Robredo's motion to get the soft copy of the decryption documents despite her earlier opposition and not paying a single cent. This despite the strong opposition of Marcos, arguing that she should at least shoulder part of the cost of the decryption. In the end, and as expected, Caguioa disallowed Marcos to get the hard copies he already paid for. Number 8. Delayed again. The revision was initially scheduled for February 2018, but it was postponed once again to March 19. The reason this time was that the 50 revisers should undergo psychological examination, something that is not even in the PET's rulebook. And number 9, delayed once again. The start of the manual recount has once again been moved to another date, April 2, 2018. Reason being only 42 out of the 50 revisers have passed the psychological exam. That means the Chief Justice will be barely qualified as a reviser. As they say, justice delayed is justice denied. And it has been 2 years that the Marcoses have been fighting a one-sided battle. Do you think Justice Caguioa has been a puppet of the Liberal Party? If you do, like and share.